Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new Ninjago video here on the channel. My name is TannerFishies. In today's video, we are going to be taking a retrospective and overview look at every single source dragon from Ninjago's lore and what elemental powers they officially possess, now that all of their powers have been officially revealed. And yes, recently Ninjago series writer Glenn Lacken confirmed every single source dragon and what powers they possess. We did individual videos for each specific source dragon, but now, like I said, I would like to do an overview video where we take a look at all source dragons and all elemental powers in one go. And also, I would like to do my version, as in, if I was in charge of organizing the powers and assigning them to a source dragon, what would I personally do? More on that here momentarily. With that being said though, I did make a chart featuring all of the powers and all of the source dragons, so without further ado, let's get right into it. Okay, so moving on to the chart in question here, I have this set up on tiermaker.com. Now, we are not ranking anything in today's video. This is not going to be any type of ranking or rating video. Instead, I just wanted to use this as a very convenient visual to make a chart showcasing which elemental powers belong to which source dragon and also what other elemental powers belong in the same category, just so you can see again visually what the teams are looking like here, so to speak. So starting up at the top, we have no source. These are elemental powers that as of right now do not have a confirmed source dragon, or in the case of golden power, that belongs to every source dragon. So golden power is a part of motion, energy, strength, etc. It takes all of the source dragons to make golden power. So that's why it doesn't have a specific one source. But in the case of darkness, the Overlord's power, creation, and destruction belonging to Wu and Garmadon respectively, again, these three do not have any kind of source dragon as of right now. From what we can figure out, they do not even come from the source dragons, or maybe like golden power, it will be revealed later that they come from all the source dragons. As of right now though, no source. Moving on down to motion, we have fire, quake, speed, sound, and shockwave. Very solid selection of powers here, I would say. Moving on to energy, we have lightning, heat, light, and propulsion. Only 4 powers on this one, which kind of sets it off from the rest of the dragons. Most of them have 5 powers each, except for balance, so I guess, that kind of, makes up for energy only having 4 powers here. But again, there will probably be another power revealed later that will take that empty spot. Strength, we have earth, fusion, metal, surface tension, my favorite power, and gravity, pretty much all making sense in this category. Like I said, I love that Cole and Geo belong to the same source dragon. In terms of focus, we have ice, technology, mind, reflex, and figment. Yeah, this category has been pretty controversial, I would say, and again, more on that here in a second. Moving on down to life, we have energy / life / green / whatever Lloyd's power is, nature, poison, size, and plants. Again, plants and nature are separate powers somehow. In terms of flow, we have water, smoke, wind, time, and form, all of which, of course, dealing with flowing through something, whether it be the air or a person's body. Moving on down to balance. Again, as of right now, the source dragon with the least amount of elemental powers, we have amber, balance itself, and shadow. Again, not my first pick for shadow, more on that here in a second. And finally for chaos, just decided to include chaos here because why not? Not an official source dragon, but still Thunderfang is the source of the Forbidden Five's powers. The powers being fear, if you count this as fear, brute force, misfortune, swarm, and decay. So that's going to pretty much do it for the chart of how the source dragon lineup is looking currently as confirmed by the Ninjago writers out there. But if I had it my way, if I were to be the one organizing the elemental powers and assigning them to a source dragon, so first thing that I did was I got rid of the idea of some powers not having a source dragon, and instead I moved all of the creation type powers, all of the powers dealing with the balance, to balance. I think that's what a lot of people expected, and again, I think that just makes a ton of sense due to the idea that the balance source dragon is so mysterious, and of course the balance source dragon is kind of dead now, so all of these powers being kind of inactive, I could see, especially with the Master Wu ghost going around. So I took all of the, again, creation, balance themed powers, golden power, creation, destruction, and darkness, put them in balance. In terms of the other balance powers, I kind of scattered them throughout some of the other tiers. By the way, chaos did not change either, obviously. But going up to the start here, for motion, I would say fire, because obviously the main ninja's powers didn't change. But for motion, I would say fire, speed, balance, reflex, and form. I think balance makes sense given how the power primarily lets you move and balance while you're moving, so motion. Reflex is obvious why that would be in motion. I think a lot of people expected that. And in terms of form, I kind of felt like maybe form could be, again, the body shifting and changing, or moving to fit a different form. So in my opinion, motion would be a great place for form. Energy pretty much remained the same, except I added shockwave to the mix. I know that a lot of people would also love to see heat in motion, but I like the idea of these similar powers between Ninja and New Ninja being in different sources. It just sets them apart even more. So energy remains unchanged, adding shockwave. Next up for strength, I kept strength pretty much the same. I feel like all of these powers do fit strength extremely well, earth and fusion especially, metal too. Surface tension makes sense when you think about it, and gravity, sure, you need to be strong in order to manipulate the gravitational pull around you, so that makes sense to me there. Focus is pretty much the same, except I added size, just because I feel like size you need to focus to grow or shrink. I also got rid of reflex, obviously put it up into motion. Life remained relatively the same, except I got rid of size, and I added amber because amber pretty much works with every power out there, not to mention amber originated as a power from a tree infused with source dragon energy. That is official, that is canon, so I felt like it was appropriate for life. And shadow I put in life too, because shadows exist everywhere in life, you know? And before shadow was revealed to canonically come from balance, I was kind of hoping it would come from life, just because I like the idea of shadow coming from the life dragon. Then in terms of flow, I kept pretty much all the powers except I added sound, obviously got rid of form. I added sound because sound flows through the air, so I thought that made sense. And quake, I put here too, though I'm not really happy with my placement for quake, but the only other place that it would make sense is strength, but I really didn't want, again, quake and earth to share a source, so I decided to bump quake down to flow, maybe because his power lets him connect with the flow of the earth or something. Yeah, maybe life would be better, but then life would have too many powers. Maybe focus, because you gotta focus to connect with the earth. I don't know. Flow for the time being, though I'm not super happy with, again, the placement for Frax power of Quake. But yeah, like I said, if I were to be the one arranging the elemental powers and assigning them to any given source dragon, this is what I would do. But alas, obviously that's not how things are, and this is canonically what we are looking like in terms of a source dragon lineup, featuring, again, every source dragon and what elemental powers they control / possess, not counting the elemental powers that are either unknown or not confirmed to be canon, by the way. As of right now, according to Ninjago canon, this is every single elemental power and what source dragon those powers belong to. With that being said, though, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. Leave all of your thoughts down below, and I will be leaving a link to this tier maker down below as well, just in case you would like to make a chart like this for yourself. But if not, leave a comment. What is your favorite source dragon? What elemental powers do you think belong where? And what do you think of the overall lineup and the chart that we have going here? Again, this is all official Ninjago canon now. These are the source dragons and what elemental powers they possess, what powers they are the source of. Leave all your thoughts down below. Thank you so much for watching. Like I said, just wanted to make one single comprehensive video, pretty much organizing all of the powers according to official canon. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed, feel free to like and subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and I will talk to you guys again very, very soon. Peace.